You'll never know how it feels until it happens to your family.
Felt very unreal.
How does a 2-year-old girl in San Francisco vanish and police not issue an Amber Alert?
Where is Ariana?
It's been 7 years since Ariana Fitzs was last seen.
There's something wrong with the system.
It's why this senator got the new Ebony Alert passed in California just for Black people.
We just want something to be done.
But when the Shade Room told you about it last week, you lit it up in the comments. Many wondering why missing Black children will now have a different system than those traditional Amber Alerts. Senator Stephen Bradford stepping into the Shade Room. Why he says we've got a bigger problem when it comes to Black people going missing. I'm Justin Carter. TSR News starts right now. The new Ebony Alert system has got a lot of us talking. It authorizes law enforcement to alert the public when Black children and young adults go missing, similar to how Amber Alerts work. And we saw what you wrote in the comments. One roommate wrote, quote, that this only makes it easier for them not to find us. Go back to the drawing board. Another roommate wrote, quote, a way for authorities to decide how fast they want to respond. And another, I don't agree with the Ebony Alert. We only need one alert for children because race shouldn't matter. No, it shouldn't matter. But the bigger question is it mattering when police, they start investigating these cases? The last time Tess Fitzs heard from her sister, 32-year-old Nicole Fitzs, was Easter 2016.
I get this message asking if Nikki's missing. And I'm like, no, I just talked to her a couple days ago.
She called her phone, no answer. She began to panic when she realized her 2-year-old niece, Ariana, was also nowhere to be found.
When we did the missing persons report, they told us that they don't suspect foul play because they're together. If one of them had been missing without the other, then that would have prompted foul play.
3 days went by. Tess got the worst news from a detective on the case.
And that's when he tells us that Nikki had been found. That she'd been found dead.
Violently beaten, murdered, and left under a wooden plank at San Francisco's McLaren Park.
It just probably didn't make sense. Like, she was just here.
Nothing made sense. Like the whole 3 days didn't make sense to me.
The family continued to struggle because police still decided not to issue an Amber Alert for Ariana, who was still missing.
Why wasn't an Amber Alert issued for Ariana?
Honestly, I don't know.
And to this day, that has never been made clear by police. But the FBI recently admitted that they were wrong about Ariana and Nicole being together at the time of their disappearance.
We do not believe that Ariana was with Nicole at the time of her death, but we do believe that Ariana's disappearance is related to Nicole's murder.
According to the Highway Patrol, in order for an Amber Alert plan to be activated in California, it, quote, has been confirmed that an abduction has occurred or the child has been taken, the victim is 17 years of age or younger or of proven mental or physical disability, and there is reason to believe that the victim is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death, end quote. The Shade Room spoke to Natalie Wilson, co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation.
Ariana disappeared from San Francisco, but she could be anywhere at this point. And we believe that with the Ebony Alert being issued at that time, it could have led to her recovery.
They track the numbers yearly, and data shows that Black youth 18 years and under make up 38% of missing persons cases, and Black children make up 33% of all missing child cases.
The legislation was created because there is a disparity in getting media coverage, law enforcement resources, and even community engagement when someone is missing.
She says the Urban League recently conducted a study and interviewed pimps and pedophiles about this.
And they were asked, why do you traffic Black women and girls? And their answers were, one, they know that no one would look for them if they went missing. And two, the penalty will not be as harsh for sex trafficking a young Black girl or woman.
Senator Stephen Bradford authored this legislation and says It starts at the top with law enforcement agencies who sometimes disproportionately label young missing Black people as runaways.
We just want to make sure that we prioritize these young folks and young adults the same way as we do anybody else. And there are young women who are being abducted and sex trafficked. They're listed as juvenile prostitutes. And as we all know, juveniles can't consent to sex. So how in the hell are you going to list them as juvenile prostitutes? But that's what they do to young African-American girls and women.
People have an issue with the name. Why is it called the Ebony Alert?
I don't see problems with the name, or we wouldn't have, labeled it as such. Ebony, we know, has a connection to the African-American community, be it the magazine, you name it. So that's why we want to be very intentional and specific that this is about African-American individuals. So that's why we chose Ebony.
We asked Senator Bradford about the slew of negative comments, questioning if this segregates Black youth from the general Amber Alerts that we all know.
How do you respond to that? I know you've been seeing it in the comments.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's the same individuals who would also tell you that we don't deserve reparations. We don't deserve affirmative action. We don't deserve all the things that we have been denied in this country for hundreds of years. So I'm not surprised by those comments. It speaks to the racial bias that exists in this country. And it's a shame that we have to do this, but this was a common sense approach to an issue that is far too important. Black babies and young adults are just as loved and cared for.
Do you feel like the Ebony Alert would have helped your sister and your niece if it were enacted back then in 2016?
It would have helped as far as, publicizing goes, for sure. Additional spread of awareness would have been huge.
You feel like she's still alive?
I do. I really do.
The Ebony Alert will not only activate phones and highway signs, it'll also open up the field too. This alert will also now include young adults up to 25 years old. Also included those reported missing under unexplained or suspicious circumstances, and missing persons that are disabled, cognitively impaired, or at risk. It goes into effect January 1st, 2024, and Senator Bradford says that other states could follow suit, as it has been discussed at the National Black Caucus of State Legislators meeting this week. For TSR News, I'm Justin Carter.